Yeah.
It's lit.
It's lit.
It's lit.
Amen.
Amen.
Yes.
Wow. I think it's lit can be synonymous for amen. Wow.
I know.
And Jesus wept. It's lit. All right.
Yeah. So proud of us, bro. So proud of us.
We created a book. And it's beautiful, by the way.
So
Very
beautiful.
Shout out to Serenity
Amen.
for making this artwork here. It's beautiful stuff here. Beautiful.
And we'll give you another little sneak peek into one of them
Yes.
during the show as well. One of the many illustrations.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Serenity crushed it. You and I distilled a masterpiece, my brother. We distilled a masterpiece. So
Yeah.
short, so friendly.
Simplify what most Christians say can't be explained.
Yes.
Only
Because-
God knows.
Because the moment that you try and put this into words, it's lost.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. So I feel like we did what we could right before that moment where it's lost.
Yes.
Yeah.
And because of Sky has this rhythm where he weaved in the detective mystery
Yeah.
style,
Mm-hmm.
which makes it super relatable,
And personable.
personable.
Yeah.
Yep.
Just makes us or makes you feel like we're talking to you. And I just felt that was really, really important. I don't know. I feel like when I'm reading books where I feel like the author can really like relate to me and see me, then I love it. So I feel like if I'm talking to you as if I'm literally sitting next to you, then it's like you're not reading a book. You're talking to a friend. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yep. So it's very friendly. Also, the questions are
Which you chimed in, Mr. Question Man. But no, Atlas just has amazing questions, thought-provoking questions that really takes your mind to the edge of time. And I think that having those questions was important because it gave me like an outline to kind of like weave in and out, because these are questions that trigger so many responses. So it's like, I guess as they're getting the responses that are triggered, I'm there patting you on the back saying, okay, yeah. And so as we continue on, furthermore,
yeah.
It's a beautiful, I feel like it's a beautiful intertwining of the feminine and masculine energy, just in the writing style, in the way we're expressing throughout this book. Yeah.
Agreed.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Yeah.
Oh, man, what a beautiful process of several months of meeting every week or every couple weeks,
Mm-hmm.
maybe total time somewhere approaching 100 or so hours of total time.
Yeah.
And that weaving in the incredible illustrations of Serenity, weaving in the incredible detective mystery, these really powerful questions, and keeping it super short and super distilled, and then unleashing this as an artistic expression that then creates these little waves and ripples to you guys.
Yeah.
And then you guys create these little waves and ripples to your families and friends.
Yeah.
And then before you know it, more of life, reality is awakening to itself. The
Absolutely.
mystery awakening to itself.
Yeah.
Yeah. Amen.
As we express ourselves,
Yeah.
it's lit.
It's lit. I'm so grateful. Sky literally had a child while we were, he and Sonny had a child while we were writing this.
Did we start before he was here? Or was it right after?
We started right before Soul came into the world.
Yes. Oh, yeah. So, right before he was here, we started. And then Sonny gave birth. And then we went on from there and just had our sessions trying to figure out how I can get down here and also not feel like I'm away from my son and dealing with that. But knowing that this is something that my son will be able to enjoy, will be able to read, will be able to digest at an early age. And I did not get to digest anything like this until I was like 24 or 25.
Yes.
So
yes,
even though I had a few hours away from Soul, I was well spent.
Yes.
You know, because what I wanted to do, especially with this book, is simplify source. So I wanted to make like an adult children's book, if that makes sense.
So good.
Yeah, I wanted to make a book where you're reading it and you're like, man, this is so simple, and you keep saying it throughout the book till the end.
Yeah.
Till you get to the end, and it's like, wow, it's so simple, and that's gold right there. That's gold. That's gold, because I haven't had that experience. I haven't read a book where it was like, wow, this is really simple. They put this in such a simple way, and I guess I understand God. So that's the intention, man. That's the intention.
To simplify source into an adult children's book.
Mm-hmm.
Perfect. And then to have every single one of these lines, every part of this detective mystery and powerful questions, just have the reader go like, how do I so quickly, in such a short adult children's book, am grasping the ineffable, the mystery? Yeah. That's what, that's if you could put the pinnacle of art into a process, it would be how to take the ineffable that we are and try and distill it. Try to. Whether it be through this adult children's books or whether it be through music or whatever.
I was going to say, yeah.
Exactly. Whatever you're producing, whatever you're making, creating, just weave in the most amount of awakening possible. Yeah.
My suggestion.
Yeah, exactly. Great.
But yeah.
Nice. So what we have planned is we're going to read a couple sentences, which we would say is probably one of the most profound aspects or realizations.
Yes.
Yeah, cool. And then we'll play on that for a bit as our little promotion. By the way, you guys can find the link to the book, paperback, baby, and Kindle in the bio description of this video. And we just finished the audiobook today.
Yes, sir. Which was a process.
It was so lit. And so it's under review, and it'll be up as well. The links to that will be in the bio below. And let's jump in. Let's do it.
Yeah. So I'll start. And this is a favorite of mine. And it says, I, in quotations, can forget itself as the costume identity. This is arguably the most important feature of realities, the ability to forget and remember. And just simply, I love that because it gives meaning to life, and it doesn't exclude anyone from feeling like they're not a part of this grand thing. You know, like, we're all a part of it. And even when you forget, you know, and I would say that, man, sitting in nostalgia is a habit that I got to break. But it's the times where I was actually the sleepiest, where I knew nothing of any of this, where I felt like, in a way, I was really happy. And I'm going to change that because I feel like I was going to say the most happy. I don't want to say that. But I would say that I was definitely happy. And I don't look back on those moments and think, oh, I wish I was awakened then, or I wish I was awakened then. I actually enjoy the moments for exactly what they are. Because ignorance is bliss and awareness is bliss, I realized. And that is the ability to forget and remember. And it's an ability because you already know. So it's not like you're just forgetting and remembering. At a higher level, I guess, I feel like it's an ordained thing. But as we live life, you know, you have your moment, or maybe you have like an entheogen trip or a psychedelic trip or something like that, and it's like, oh wow, so great, God, bah. And then maybe months later, like, you're in the most intense argument with a spouse, or like, and in those moments you don't remember the grand realization that psychedelic may have given you, and so you forget. And then you have another moment and you remember, and having that ease, less agony on being nothing is what I love. So just knowing that you can forget and remember, I feel like it takes that chip off of our shoulders from constantly feeling like we need to always be enlightened. or be aware.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Ooh, I love that. I love how you said that ignorance and awareness are both bliss. It's so funny.
I've never heard it, but yeah.
It's such a good way to put it. The sleepiness was just as bliss.
Yeah.
As awakeness.
Because no one was telling you that it was wrong. So it was great.
And this is true non-duality.
Exactly. The pursuit of unified perspectives.
Yes.
That's what I love to say.
Ooh, the pursuit of unified perspectives. That's another good one.
No, I cannot take credit for that. I cannot. That is a slogan from one of my favorite clothing brands called Ahead Co. So check those out. Check those guys out. But yeah.
Yeah. Well, that's a big part of what simulation this show has been the last 4 years is.
The
pursuit of unified perspectives.
Literally.
That's so good, bro. Synthesize science and spirituality. Synthesize consciousness and physicalism.
Right.
Figure out how to maximize human potential. All this type of stuff. It's great.
Yeah.
It's like taking the integral for those that love math. You take the integral, the summation of all perspective.
Yes.
Boom. And there's God.
Exactly,
love it. And then for me, a big part of this is that if you really grok this, I can forget itself as the costume identity. This is arguably the most important feature of realities, the ability to forget and remember. If you really grok that, and this has been talked about in much metaphysical literature, and especially Ra and the Law of One, that the very nature of the veil of forgetting is potentially the most important feature of intelligent infinity. So the best way, one of the best potential ways for intelligent infinity to do this endless exploration is to use this veil of forgetting.
Yes.
So it's like the coolest tool or mechanism
to move forward.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. So that's what's like.
You explained that with such emphasis.
My heart. Yeah.
No, that was great though. That was great. Yeah.
It's so good. So the veil of forgetting.
Because it has to be appreciated. This is how we evolve. At least here right now, we forget, and then when we remember, it's like it's us even stronger. You know, so it's like you said, it's like the very nature of the veil is the most prized thing here. Yes,
it's so well said. And one more aspect to that is that it is a veilless veil. And that's the non-duality.
I wish we'd have put that in the book. A veilless veil.
Another way to say it is the gateless gate. Gateless gate.
Somebody,
exactly. Yes. Yeah. I love it. And that's why the ignorance and awareness are both bliss. Like
exactly.
Because there's a veilless veil or a gateless gate. Or another way that in Dzogchen, the Buddhist mystic tradition that it's been discussed, is that it is just like, if you look behind my head right now, it is just like that very thin line between the light and the shadow, which you can't even really say there is a line between the two. Or another way it's been discussed is the back and front of your hand. And so it's literally that close to each other.
Right.
That's what the play is. It's that close to each other. And so that's why Rumi says you go from room to room looking for the diamond that's already around your neck. And so when you read that line, you read it when you're 23, you read it when you're 24, you read it when you're 26, and then all of a sudden you break through when you're 28 and you start sobbing because you've read that line so many times.
You never got it until now. Yeah. Absolutely. And I feel like every person who is on this evolved journey has that moment. That moment of all those prior moments before. And then it's like, wow, okay, that's what the person was trying to say. All right. Absolutely.
Yeah.
I love it.
And that's why in the Sufi metaphysics, there is the phrase wadat al-wujud, and it means the unity of all finding, because Sky's experience with finding through the veilless veil is going to be different than Atlas's, which is going to be different than all of yours.
Yes.
And so that's the uniqueness of this intelligent infinity, undergoing the process of being able to remember itself through the veilless veil in all of these unique styles of finding.
In costumes.
In costumes. Perfect.
Yes.
Perfect.
This actually, just this conversation alone is just making me realize how great this book is. No, seriously, because we just broke down one line from our book. Look at the intelligent conversation that we just had from one line. Let's continue.
Yeah,
it's great.
Exactly.
Like, so, but it's so simple.
That's great. That what you're alluding to is that there's the potential to basically have What Is I book clubs.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah, where you could break down a sentence or two or three and just begin talking for an hour about your experiences with investigating.
Yes.
That's so good, bro.
Yeah.
What Is I book clubs in your local cities in Chicago, New York, London,
Baltimore.
Hong Kong, Baltimore.
Yeah.
Sioux Falls, South Dakota.
Sioux Falls, South Dakota. Shout out to Sioux Falls.
And Baltimore. We love you guys. All right. So
now,
this,
where was this one? Chapter 2?
It is in
because you have them all.
3.
Okay, watch it. Okay, gotcha.
Yeah. So this second one that we're going to read is very, very tightly intertwined with the first one that we read. And so this is a single line, and it just reads, "What changes when we see ourselves as I rather than John?" And so, and this also really just warms our hearts so much, because there's a big change that happens when we shift through this veilless veil, that to us, that we've found the unity of all life and the unity of all existence, the unity of our beingness. And then just, that's it. That's really it from there.
That feeling right there. Yeah.
Wow, this whole time.
It
was right here. That we are all one. And under the costumes is the same essence. And that is that, and then everything we do from then on becomes more and more infused with compassion, with love, with care, with wholeness, radiating, illuminating like the sun, like we serve, we honorably, joyfully, peacefully serve creation awakening without extracting from it, without feeling unwhole, without feeling unworthy, without feeling like we need validation, because we recognized ourselves as the sun through those clouds, the veilless veil. And that's it. Like, that's what happened. And that feeling is why we put this together, is to share and hopefully create more catalysts for that feeling, so that I, underneath the costumes, what happens when we recognize it? What changes when we recognize it? When you see yourself the way God sees.
Yeah. I don't think I could give a better answer, or a more heartfelt, rather, answer. I guess I would just use one word, and that's everything. Everything changes. Everything changes when you realize that you're not your name and what comes with that, your culture and the race and identity. Everything changes when you realize you're not that, because then everything is available. It's like there's nothing out of reach, and then life becomes infinite, or at least it seemingly feels that way in this body. And then I don't know. And remember when we first met and you asked, basically you asked if everything was the way it should be, how will we live after that? If everybody wasn't like, where will we go? How will we live? You remember you asked? And I said, I don't know. I remember saying that, but because we're not there yet. I was so far away from that. And now, 5 years later, as I sit here, I can say that you explore confidently. You explore in so many ways, not just, let me go to this country or let me go take this hike. You explore in the most finite and infinite ways. I piece together details of my life through books and shows and conversations and how fast the pigeon flew, and it all just makes sense to me. But before, I'm living life like, I should go here or do this because my teacher said this or my mom said, just living life in such a normal way. But I literally use all of life to understand my everyday experience.
Yeah.
And that is what changed.
Yeah.
Like, I'm so much more than just the everyday. Just, I don't know. Everything. I'm just going to go back to the first answer is everything changes.
Everything changes.
Everything changes. Yeah.
Man, the shift from feeling like a victim to the creation to I'm the creator of creation, and then seeing the divinity, the miracle everywhere. Ooh. I love that. Everything changes, baby. Everything changes.
Yes, sir.
And there's so many relatable ass analogies in here, and the whole thing just shifts you more and more into wholeness, into compassion, into love.
Yeah,
and
as you read.
Yeah, and this is a visualization we can share now. Yeah?
Yeah, sure.
Okay, cool.
You want to do it?
So this is a visualization of a Serenity's design, and and this is for, it's cool to say the chapter title, yeah?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. This is for the chapter that's titled One Infinite Creator. And so the visual looks like this. And that plays into what we've been discussing, where what is under the costumes? I is under John, is under Sky, is under Atlas, is under you.
Yep. And the pictures are important because I feel like if you look at each one, I feel you can find the all in every one, every single one. Even though every picture is correlating to a chapter that's leading you to something, the great thing about Source is that it's all in everything. So even in our expression, you can see that, and even in this. So like the first visualization for the first chapter, you can find God all the way to the end. And it's seemingly chapters 1 through 10, but it's really chapter.
Yeah.
And it's going to, I hope that it comes off as one experience.
Yes.
I do. Full circle.
Perfect.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I love the idea that we just came to in the show, which was book clubs, baby.
Yeah, please.
Like, let's make
the best way to get this stuff out here and affecting the ones that you love is those book clubs, and basically word of mouth is what we're really saying, talking about it, being a detective in your own life is so important, and with the people that you love. So you guys getting together. Okay, what was this like for you? When you did this, how was that like? When you realized this, how long did it take you or whatever? Like, this is how we come to our collective truths. But if we don't do this, then we're so divided in an extreme amount of ways that we can't even see the oneness. Yeah. So, yeah.
That's great. Use the opportunity of coming together around this core question of what is I to recognize our collective truth.
Yeah.
That one thing to know, as is written in the IG bio of one of the most gangsta people I know.
Yes, literally. Because people keep going around saying I this, I that, and I don't want to give too much from the book, but
I this, I that.
Who in the hell is I?
I?
Or rather, what is I. And that's, ladies and gentlemen,
That is all.
that's a wrap.
That's a wrap.
Yeah, but I feel like we gave them a good dose of what's in the book,
Yeah.
things that inspired us, why we wrote it, you know, the illustrations. And now it's time for you guys to investigate.
You just civilization running around. I. Who the hell is that I?
And
What is that I?
No one's asking.
Yeah. And that one question takes you all the way.
All the way.
All the way. Should we read
Book
that?
is that?
Should we read it?
Yeah, actually, yeah.
Yeah. Okay, because this relates perfectly. Let's go.
Line for line.
Yeah, you do the first one. I'll do
Gotcha.
the middle one. Yeah.
This book is a direct investigation of I, our innermost sense of self.
Using the format of a detective mystery, the authors guide readers through powerful questions and never once mention meditation or breath work.
Go directly to the end using logic. No sitting on a cushion needed. At all. If it's comfortable, cool. If you feel the need, all right.
Oh,
But yeah, that's
great,
it,
bro.
man.
Great,
I
that's
appreciate
it.
you, man.
Me too.
We are going to affect the world.
Our brotherhood got strengthened so much through this process.
It has.
Unbelievable.
Mm-hmm.
And this is a great way for us to strengthen our love with each other through this inquiry and also take on projects similar to this with one of your close brothers or sisters and meet and then put together a wonderful piece of art for the world type stuff. Yeah, it's a great
absolutely.
process. Great process.
Yes, sir.
Boom. The links are in the bio below. So the paperback and the Kindle is in the bio below. Check it out. Support us. Support our effort, please. And hopefully it'll make a profound impact on your life, your family, your friends, community, the world. And also like the video because that ranks it up in the algorithm on YouTube. So like the video. And also it helps the algorithm if you comment below with your thoughts on this book launch and on what we talked about.
Yes.
So do leave us a comment below. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't yet. Also share the video as well. Be like, oh, shit, look at this book that just launched. Look at this book that just launched, and share the video. And then also audiobook link will be in the bio shortly as well. And then also check out the Instagram profiles that are in the bio. So Serenity's Instagram is in the bio, who is the artist and the illustrator of these incredible visuals. Go and follow her. Check out her other work there. And then Sky's Instagram is down there, and then so is mine, Atlas's. So you can check out our Instagrams. And that is all. Anything else from you?
No, like I said, I just want to affect the world, and this book is book dedication is to you.
Source.
It was so
as
good.
always to you.
Source. For all time. Always.
Infinite love, fam. Thanks so much for tuning in, and check out the book. Infinite
Peace.
love. Peace.